If you're watching this, then you're probably watching your 16th review of GIJoe Classified Airborne, and that makes you a sicko. Of course, this is Travis Moody here, Toy Kind of Mood, and we're talking about the GIJoe Classified Series number 115, Airborne, Franklin Airborne, Talltree. And you know what? Forget the figure. Let's talk about the packaging. That's all we care about these days, is what's in the box. This is the perfect packaging, and we'll be sending a sad song salute since this is it, at least in this wave, and maybe the next. Who knows? Who's keeping track? But anyway, this packaging is so phenomenal that I took everything out of the package because I don't want to crinkle it while you're watching this. You know, we got better things to do, right? But we had Easter eggs. Operation Mind Menace, anybody? Cobra blew up their base on Easter Island, that Polynesian island famous for its stone monoliths, which are used against the Joes in this episode. Cobra amplifies the power of a number of captured psionics, one of whom is Airborne's kidnapped brother. Look, Airborne is Franklin E. Talltree, Sergeant E5. He's Airborne infantryman. I just got done watching Band of Brothers. Don't shoot me. But yeah, that's been out since when? 2002? And I finally got through it. Hey, there aren't a whole lot of options on the airplane. Let me tell you, at least American Airlines. And it was one of the most poignant, touching feats in cinema I've ever watched. Checking out Easy Company in the 506 Regiment. Watching the 101st Airborne go from Normandy to Hitler's Eagle's Nest. And Airborne is definitely inspired from that. He's the helicopter assault trooper. OG'd in 1983. Wild Bill's co-pilot for the Dragonfly. Yes, that HasLab thing. It was a smart decision by Hasbro Pulse not to throw this guy behind the paywall. He certainly stands on his own, and we will find out in this epic exclusive review. Beyond anything else, it's this face sculpt on Franklin Talltree. It is spectacular. Maybe the best of all of the G.I. Joes. That's saying a lot, especially when we get some amazing bearded freaks. But as far as clean-shaven head sculpts, I don't think you can top this one, guys. I think we have a winner. Totally Native American. Of course, he was in the Navajo Reservation down in Arizona. Shout out to Tony's Figs, one of the Toy Kind of Mood's finest. He's holding it down over there in Phoenix. But I'm all about giving our Joes different looks, secondary looks. This guy has 8. First thing we got here is this Advanced Combat Helmet ACH, and it is mostly new. Mostly new on the helmet. And why do I say mostly? Let's bring in rock and rolls. You can see the similarities there. Right on that grid, the detail. But then you get this molded on pouch on the back of rock and rolls. Of course, we have Franklin's on the left. You see there's some differences in the molding there on the sides. The straps seem longer on rock and rolls too, so it's like they're using pieces of stuff, but some of the molding shared and some of it isn't. So, and then looking in the front, obviously Airborne's is there to connect the nods. You can't do it on rock and roll. So very interesting there how it's almost reuse. Now before you go off running saying these goggles are from Hawkins Snow Job, they look like they are, but they're not. They're gray, they're not black, and they're also smaller. Paint is one thing, but they're also smaller. I thought maybe it was a QC issue, it was warped. But even doing this, no, it's just smaller. Smaller for the head. The other ones fit hoods and helmets. It's a nice shiny metallic paint, but not translucent, which is a little disappointing, especially when you got that as the artwork. There's a look at Mutt Sunnies, and yep, different shape. This other pair of skydiving goggles is all new as well, and even larger than the 2 other shades I showed you. Here we have Airborne's nods for his ACH on the right. On the left, Ton of Rats night vision goggles. Here we have Franklin with his Oakleys. Franklin rocking the ACH with the shades. Airborne rocking everything. And I agree with Larry, aka a punk with toys. This is probably his coolest look. Good Franklin with the nods over the eyes, checking things out over here in Easter Cobra Island. So one minor thing here with our dude Airborne. Helmet actually doesn't fit on that snug unless you mess with it for a little bit. It's a little touch flimsy. Right there it looks great, right? But yeah, if you kind of just throw it on, it's going to ride up. So just a heads up. But yeah, he is phenomenal. What a sculpt. But see how it just kind of rides up? Kind of got to mess with it. It's not a deal breaker or anything, but it's just a kind of a slight functional annoyance. Otherwise, the functionality in this guy's great. See how it's kind of showing his head there? See, it's riding high. Not so great, but there you go. You get the picture. Double shade time. You got the cover there for the skydiving goggles. Man, his face sculpt is so good. You could tell with all this crap on his head just how good it is. Finally, another great look here for Franklin. It's his band of brothers. Oh, Masters of the Air. Great show, by the way. Apple TV. Go check it out. Getting into Airborne, the 1/12 scale classified series figure. He's just phenomenal. So majestic. He's just great. I knew this was going to happen. I was not excited for Airborne at all. Like, excited for his release, but not excited once they showed him. I was like, okay, cool. He's Airborne. He's fine. It's getting the figure in hand. I predicted it would be similar to Robert Grunt Graves, and that's exactly it. Once you get it in hand, it feels special. Airborne feels special, and he's mostly all new. So let's dig into it. And it's the legs, baby. She's got legs. But anyway, yeah, those are all new legs. And if I'm wrong, correct me. Of course, you got your double pinless there. And nice job. They switched over from the OG and tucked in the boot down a little more. So it's good. And everything looks good right there. One notable reuse is the bottom of this harness here. This web gear is similar to our buddy Scrap Iron. So we're crotch watching right here. Same diaper too. Same diaper. That's right. But yeah, otherwise, new legs. Getting over here. We're not done with Scrap Iron. We are not done with Scrappy because we've got the same arms and the same gloves. There you go. Same. We got that elbow padding there. And they did such a great job with this that I thought it was single. I was like, no double elbows. What the hell? So wonderful job there. You got his Airborne inspired tempo. I'll show you the real one, of course. It is an enhanced version of what was on the OG fig, so they're doing their best without getting sued. But again, just looking at the arms, same girl, same. But as far as the web gear, the vest, it is all new. Of course, we got our first, Airborne soldier there, so definitely needed some newer type gear, but everything else you see here is new, at least molded on new. And in that secondary, he's got a US flags hidden a little bit by the sheath. And while we're at it, we don't care about the knives that much, right, with G.I. Joe, so at least these. So we'll just slide that up in there and give you a better idea of how that looks. One good thing is these holsters are nice and tight, but you still get the range of flexibility. Of course, articulation, guys, we all know. It's butterfly joints, double pinless elbows. You know it all by now, right? Everything else is, we don't have to go through this song and dance. As far as the rest of accessories, we've got our Duke backpack. We've got our little pistol that you'll never use. We've got our French Mat 49 with suppressor, aka Firefly's SMG, which, you guessed it, you'll also never use. And in case you're one of the 6 people watching this review before everyone else's, the suppressor fits on the pistol. And in case you're wondering, yeah, my rifle was gummy too, but it doesn't matter because I'm not going to use it. But what I am going to use is one of my 600 Crimson Guard M16 with bayonets. Yeah, that's Airborne's original gun. Well, you knew that. And I'd be remiss not to show these two amazing gentlemen next to each other. And since everyone today told me that ratings and rankings are meaningless in reviews, I'm going to double down and give you a plethora of whiskeys. Aesthetics. This guy is a 5 out of 5 for aesthetics. The blue certainly pops. The greens, browns, and beiges are gorgeous on him. He's got one of the best face sculpts in the game. Lots of new parts, surprising new parts. The reuse is excellent. He's a perfect 5 for aesthetics. Accessories, because he doesn't come with this accessory, I got to go 4 out of 5, but the ACH, meaning that it's new, is nice. I don't mind the reuse of the backpack. The brown is good. Doesn't come with a whole lot like the knife and the gun or whatever, but the nods are a nice nod. So I'll give it a 4 out of 5 for the accessories and articulation. Unless something bizarre goes wrong, it's always going to be at least a 4.5 in the classified line unless they do something extra, super duper doper, whatever. But look, double pinless, butterflies, you know the drill, 4.5. So grand total, doing the math, 4.5 whiskeys for Franklin Airborne Talltree. He is superb. And for more great content, reviews, rankings, and live streams, visit a toy kind of mood. And we'll catch you in the toy aisle. For Travis Moody, I'm last, yo. I'm last.